Okay, I repeat. In factoring by grouping, can this be factored by grouping? Let's see. Let's first examine our given. We have here x cubed, x squared, x constant. So the degrees of our terms per variable are in the proper order. So no problem. Next, let's examine our coefficients. From here to there, from 3 to 9, what was multiplied by 3 to get 9? So, times 3. Let's see here. From here, the coefficient is 1. From 1 to 3, what was multiplied to get a 3? Same. That's times 3. Yung iba nagsasagot na. Okay. Those who are finished, send me your answers in the chat box. Okay. Now, however, so walang problema sa arrangement, walang problema sa movement, sa pattern ng coefficients. However, your classmate noticed that this is a positive and these are negative. If the sign is the case, walang problema doon. Let's do this. Ready? Game. So, let's group this, plus, let's group that. Okay? Dahil pinoproblema ng classmate nyo ang negative, o di ipasok nyo muna sa sign. Okay? And then you add them at the end. Okay, now, let's get the common factor. What's the common factor here? The coefficients, it's 3.
3x squared.
And then that's 3x squared, correct? Because the smallest exponent between the two is squared. So that's your common factor. So what's left here is 3x cubed divided by 3x squared. That is x. Plus 9 divided by 3, that's 3. X squared divided by x squared, that's just 1. Okay? Now, eto na ang pinoproblema ng classmate nyo. We have here both negative and we have here both positive. What do you think can be the common factor here so that we will end up with x plus 3? Sige nga. What do you think should be the common factor that should be factored out to get x plus 3? Kasi ang goal natin...
Negative 1 po.
Exactly. Very good. That's negative 1. That's the common factor. So, negative x divided by negative 1, that becomes a positive x. Okay. Negative 3 divided by negative 1, that becomes positive 3. Do you see similar terms now between the two terms? Yes. And what is that similar term? What's the common factor?
X plus 3.
X plus 3. Very good. So, we will now factor out x plus 3 on both terms because that's the common factor. Remember, that's the goal of factoring by grouping. Dapat may pareho bandang huli. So, we will now have here x plus 3 times what's left here. It's 3x squared. And what's left here is minus 1. That's it. Can we still factor x plus 3? Not anymore. What about 3x squared minus 1? Pwede pa, hindi na. It's squared. However, 3 is not a perfect square. 1 is a perfect square. Ito, hindi siya perfect square. Kahit minus siya, dahil hindi na siya pwede, wala na. At nangaharapat ka rin. Okay? So that is the factored form of our answer. Okay, when I look at the answers of your classmates, many of them got it correctly. I'll say the names of those who got them correctly. Chelsea got it. Gabriel got it. Ediviel, hindi pa na-simplify. Kay Meg, try again. Vincent, check. Marian, check. Chelsea, tama na yung una mong sagot, Chelsea. And then yung kay Abigail, yung kay Abigail sumobra ng factor. You cannot factor this anymore. Kung saan ang 9 ito, take note of this. Everybody listen. This cannot be factored anymore. However, kung sanang ang given ay, if the given was This cannot be factored. If the given was 9x squared minus 1 sana, pwede pa. And you can, because they are both perfect squares, and you can factor this pa to 3x plus 1 and 3x minus 1. However, 3 is not a perfect square, so you cannot do this anymore. Okay? So, hindi na siya pwedeng i-factor. And this will be our final answer already. Okay? So, in the chat box, kindly type isa pa pong grouping, isa pa po, or next na po. If you want to move on to our factoring higher degree polynomials na. In the chat box, kindly type isa pa pong grouping or move on na po. Okay. Many are saying next na po. Pero most of them are requesting for one more grouping. One of your classmates said, sorry po sa pagkakamali ko. It's okay. That's not a mistake. It's okay. Okay? Don't feel guilty. It's okay to commit mistakes. Kasi sa pagkakamaling yon, mas natututo tayo. Remember that. Okay? In my class, it's okay to commit mistakes because from these mistakes, we will learn better. Okay? So don't feel guilty if you got wrong answer. That's okay with me. That's totally fine. Kapag po pwede pa po ma-factor yung isang last sir. Ang gusto ng isa yung classmate, yung pwede pang i-factor yung isang given. Okay. So, let's do this. Ready? China-challenge ako ng mga classmates yung mag-isip ng given. Sige, let's do this. Gusto ng classmate nyo, at the end, meron pang pwedeng i-factor. Sige. Okay. Nag-iisip ako ng given ngayon na pwede pa siyang i-factor at the end. Aro. Tinitingnan ko muna, wait lang, pina-finalize ko pa yung given kung pwede to. Okay, go. Factor by grouping. Start. Sir, di na naman po pwede. Positive, negative. Ito po, negative, positive. May idea na kayo doon. Parang kanina lang. Sir, positive, negative. Ito, negative, positive. Baliktad po. Parang yung kanina, positive, positive, negative, negative. Ito naman, positive, negative, negative, positive. Iba lang yung nagkapalit lang yung negative. Go. Same process. Try it. If you have the answer already, sir, pasabi po ng given, all black screen po ako. Okay. The given is x cubed minus 4x squared minus 4x plus 16. I repeat, x cubed minus 4x squared minus 4x plus 16. Game. Did you get the given? I repeat, x cubed minus 4x squared minus 4x plus 16. Okay, your classmates are now sending their answers. Let's just wait for some more para hindi na pa-pressure yung mga classmates. Pero many of you are getting the correct answer. Very good. Yung iba di pa nasa simplify, paki-simplify pa. Okay. I'll now announce the answers of your classmates. Let's see. Gabriel, check. Marian, check. Chelsea, check. Katrina Pingol, check. Abigail, check. Alexa, check. Vincent, check. Naze, simplify mo pa yung may squared mo. Meron pang factorable dyan. Kent, may sobra kang plus. Why do you have plus there? Go back to your answer, Kent. John Lee, simplify your answer. Meron pang pwedeng i-factor dyan. Kyla, check. Ediviel, check. Seth, go back to your factors, to your last two factors. Shane, go back to your factors. Pauline, check. Charles Anthony, check. Kendall, simplify it further. Simplify it, Kendall. Seth, ayun, plus daw yun. Okay, Seth is now correct. Meg, go back to your last two factors. Naze, check. Kent, check. Carl de Guzman, go back, kulang. Go back to your factors. Earl Jersey, check. Okay? Shall we solve it together now? Okay, let's solve it. So, again, examining our given. Cubed, squared, raised to 1, constant. Proper arrangement. Look at the coefficients. There's 1 there. 1, 2, 4. So, that's times 4. 4 to 16, that's also times 4. So, okay. So, may pattern tayo. If that's the case, we can do the factoring by grouping. Oops, but wait. Let's go back to our signs. Positive, negative. Negative, positive. Kapag nagkakabaligtaran lang yung mga signs natin, it's okay. That can be managed by factoring out a negative common factor. So, let's do this. Group this, and then group this. Don't forget to add addition in between. Okay? Let's continue. Common factor here is x squared times x minus 4. So therefore, expect that in here, you will also end up with an x minus 4 factor. Remember that. Kasi yun yung goal ng grouping. Now, let's factor this out. This is positive, negative. This is negative, positive. Opposite. So therefore, in-negative mo yung common factor mo. So in that case, that's negative. For n16, the common factor is 4. Okay? What's left inside is just a positive x. And 16 divided by 4, that negative 4, that's negative 4. And of course, our goal for factoring by grouping is now achieved. We now have this x minus 4 as the common factor between these two terms. Okay? Remember, we have two terms here. That's the first one. And this is our second term. Okay? Now, let's factor out our common factor, which is x plus 4. We have here x minus 4, x minus 4 times this term divided by x minus 4. What's left is x squared. X squared. And then this term divided by this term, what's left is the negative 4. Okay. Now, let's examine our given. X minus 4, this cannot be factored anymore. Simplest form na to. What we have here, x squared is a perfect square, and 4 is also a perfect square. And then we also have a negative sign here. So therefore, this can still be factored. In that case, this becomes x minus 4. And then, this is difference of two squares. So this can be factored as factors of x squared, that's x and x. Factors of 4, that's 2 and 1. Sorry, 2 and 2. And for the difference of two squares, one should be positive, one should be negative, because positive 2 times negative 2 is a negative 4. Okay? That's
Sir,
it. Yes, question. Shane.
paano po kapag naging x squared plus 4 po yun?
Okay. What if the given is like this? Sige. Paki-SS muna to. I will attend to the question of Shane. SS muna. Please SS the process. So, if at the end, a factor can still be factored, factor it further. Okay? Now, there is another question. Sir, what if at the end, the answer is not minus 4, but it's plus 4? Sample. So, therefore, we need to manipulate our given para mag-end up siya sa ganoon. So, kailangan maging positive ito. Positive ito. So, therefore, this should be positive and this should be negative. Ayan. Okay. Let's attend to the question of Shane. Sir, what if po? Hindi na po factorable yung bandang huli. Let's try this. This is related to the question of Shane. Ayan. So, upon checking the given x squared, cube squared, linear, constant. 1 times 4, 4 times 4, 16. So, walang problema. Positive, negative, no problem with the sign. So, let's group this. Okay? Inilabas ko na si plus because wala namang problema sa sign. This is positive, negative. So, it's okay to already use plus as our sign. So, same process. That becomes x squared, x minus 4. Tama? Plus, common factor here is 4. Tapos, x minus 4. Okay? So, meron na tayo ditong common factor, which is x plus 4. X minus 4, x minus 4. Times, at the end, we have x squared plus 4. Now, this is not factorable anymore. X minus 4 is not factorable. X squared is a perfect square. 4 is a perfect square, but it is addition and not subtraction. Can we still factor this out? Not anymore. So therefore, that's it. Pag hindi na siya pwedeng i-factor, tapos na doon. Got it? Okay? Nagets po yon? So again, even if they are both perfect squares, if it is addition, it's not factorable anymore. Pwede lang i-factor ito kung parehong perfect square at minus ito. Okay? If it's plus, remember, hindi mo na siya pwedeng i-simplify pa. Bakit? Remember, kapag kasi tama na ang ginagawa mo, hindi mo na kailangan pang i-simplify yung mga ginagawa mo ko because you are already doing the right thing. You are already positive in your life. Pero, if you are still having that negative character in you, you still need to simplify your works and end up doing what is good. Because what's important is, at the end, you should always find the positive in you. Kahit meron pang negative dyan, mahalaga, nahahanap mo yung positive sa buhay mo. Is that clear? Okay? Okay, amen. Thank you for that. So, is everything cleared about grouping, factoring by grouping? In the chat box, kindly type in, okay na po if grouping is already clear to you, or isa pa po if you want another example for grouping. Okay. Thank you. O, sige. So, let's now move on. Ready na? Meron na lang sa inyong dalawa na nagsabing isa pa po. I will just be sending another given to these two classmates. I will just take note of their names. I will send them another given later. I'll just take note of their names para masendan ko ng isa pang try this example for them. Okay. So, and most of you are ready to go to our next level. Actually, madali lang to. Okay, mag-alala. Let's now move on with factoring. The real context. Factoring higher degree polynomials. Ready? Ito na ang pinaka-context natin. But it's okay to go back to the basics kasi if the basics earlier that were discussed, mayroong humahabol pa din siya. Ako rin po. Okay. So, 4 na ang sesendan ko. Sorry. Okay, yan. Nasulat ko na yung mga names nyo. I will send you different given later. So, where am I? Ayun. We spent the first 2 invites reviewing, recalling, and mastering the basic concepts of factoring. Because if these concepts are not clear to you, this next one will be confusing to you as well. So, importanteng malinawan tayo dun sa first part. Okay? Now, factoring higher degree polynomial, this is just very easy. One is by using the factoring. One way is by using those factoring methods that I discussed to you earlier. Yun lang yun. Another method is by using the rational root theorem. Dito nyo na gagamitin yung inyong calculator. Okay? So, whichever is easier for you, do the factoring method, the basics, or use the rational root theorem, it's okay, whichever you want. Okay? So, let's have this first example. Ining ito yung classmate ka na, kung mag-chat lang kayo, Newt, nagchat-chat sila sa sa Messenger, hindi yata sila naka-join sa ating virtual consultation. Wait lang, I'm just reading their message. Okay. Okay. So, going back. Game na. In the rational root theorem, all we need to do is to find which among these possible RRT or rational roots can be used to factor our example or our given. Ready na for our first example? Let's try this one. Wait lang. Chill muna, relax lang. Painawa ko pa, mangan ko pa. Mangan kayo pa. Mangan ko pa. Kailangan kumakain kayo habang sineset up ko itong next given. Okay. Here it is. Our first given. So, our first given is x cubed plus 2x squared minus 5x minus 6. Okay, that is our given. Now, let's apply the rational root theorem. Ready? Because we don't know yet how to do this or how to solve this. Kasi kung titingnan natin, cube squared x constant. Try natin yung grouping, ha? Let's try the grouping concepts. 1 times 2, 2, 5 to 6. Hindi siya 2. So therefore, this cannot be factored using factoring by grouping. Okay? Now, the other way then is by using the rational root theorem. Simple lang. It's very, very simple. What's the coefficient of your leading term? What's the leading coefficient? What's the leading coefficient here? It's just 1.
X
Okay,
squared.
very good. We have 1. Take note of that. And what is your constant?
Negative 6.
It's negative 6. Okay. So, simple lang. All we have to do is to identify the factors of your constant. Factors of your constant. Those are, to get 6 or negative 6, kailangan natin ng positive negative 1. We also need positive negative 1 tsaka positive negative 6. Kasi 1 times 6, that's 6. Another factors is positive negative 2. Ano ba yung kapartner nito para maging 6? Positive negative 3. Tama? 1 times 6, that's 6. 2 times 3, that's 6. Positive negative because possible na positive or negative yung sign na ginamit sa factor for this. Okay? Now, let's have our leading coefficient. LC. Leading coefficient means that's the coefficient of your term with the highest degree, and that's cubed. Our leading coefficient is just 1, and the factors of 1 is positive, negative, 1. Okay? Now, what will we do? To know our possible roots, to get our possible roots, we just have to divide C by LC. We need to divide the factors of our constant by the factors of our leading coefficient. So therefore, positive negative 1 divided by positive negative 1 is positive negative 1. Positive negative 2 divided by positive negative 1, that's still positive negative 2. Positive negative 3 divided by positive negative 1, that's still positive negative 3. And then positive negative 6 divided by positive negative 1, that is still positive negative 6. Okay? Which means, dito manggagaling yung mga possible na roots or possible na magiging factors ng inyong given. Okay? Sir, wala naman po nag-iba. Pareho lang. Yes, pareho lang simply because our leading coefficient is 1. So, if the leading coefficient is 1, expect that whatever is your constant, doon manggagaling yung inyong mga factors. Okay? Okay. SS muna. Paki-SS. Because I will be erasing this now. Okay? Ready your calculators. We will be using your calculators this time. Okay na? So, I will now erase this. That's what we call the rational root theorem. Our given is x cubed plus 2x squared minus 5x minus 6. Okay? And those are our possible roots. Okay. That's it. Game. After that, these are the possible roots na pwede natin pagkukuhanan ng ating sagot. Possible roots. PR na lang. Positive negative 1, positive negative 2, positive negative 3, positive negative 6. Okay? So, next thing to do is to just try any of this and substitute to the values of x. Ready? So, we will now assign p of x be equal to this. That's just the symbol for polynomial. This is just the symbol for polynomial. Okay? And this time, let's apply the remainder theorem. Ang dami na po theorem niyan, sir. For the remainder theorem, it's just simple. Remainder theorem means we will just substitute the value of x in our equation. That's it. Okay? Let's try now. Let's try p of positive 1. So we have p of positive 1. Let's try x equals 1, huh? X equals 1 muna tayo if 1 is a factor. So, let's just substitute. This will become, all the x's will be changed to 1. That's 1 cubed plus 2 times 1 squared minus 5 times 1 minus 6. Use your calculator, please. Press this in your calculator para mas mabilis tayo. Do it. Press that in your calculator. Press it. Tell me the answer when you got it.
Negative 8.
Did you get the answer already? Did you get the same answer? It's a negative 8. So, the answer here is negative 8. Remainder theorem, if there's a remainder, remember, if there's a remainder, 1 is not a root. Hindi siya pwedeng gawing factor. This is not a root of the equation. Got it? Gets po? Now, let's try. Huwag nyo nang burahin yung nasa calculator nyo. Edit nyo na lang, lagyan ng negative 1. This time, let's try x is equal to negative 1. Kasi we are trying all these possible roots. Do it. P of negative 1, substitute. Negative 1 cubed plus 2 times negative 1 squared minus 5 times negative 1 minus 6. What do you think is the answer here? Okay, your classmates are now sending me their answers. Okay. Sige. Let's just wait for the rest. Okay, now, very good. You got it correctly. See, I just edited what's in my calculator. I just put negative 1 and the answer is 0. 0. If the answer is 0, that is now what we call the factor theorem. Factor theorem, which means if your answer from the remainder theorem is 0, then your x minus 1 is a root for your equation. X minus 1 is a root for your equation, X is equal to negative 1. This is your root. This will be our lesson next week. And when you transpose negative 1 to the other side, everybody listen. So, x plus 1 is now a factor of your polynomial. Got it? So, meron na tayong isang factor. Is that clear? So, try nyo pa nga i-substitute. This time, you try substituting 2, negative 2, hanggang sa makuha ninyo yung susunod. Try it, please. Use your calculators. I'll erase this now. Paki-SS to those who are copying. Paki-SS sa mga kumokopya. Try it in your calculator. Change the substitution. At the end, tell me, sir, pakibagalan po. Okay. So, in your calculators, paki-substitute si positive 2, pati si negative 2, pati si positive 3, at si negative 3, at kung, pang 2 weeks yun, set. So, ayan nga, ibinabagalan ko na. Slow pace po rather. Okay, bagalan ko daw yung pacing. Sige. So, paki-substitute nyo nga po in your calculators 2, -2, 3, -3 hanggang mahanap ninyo yung tatlong factors ng ating given. Do it. Ready?
Sir?
Hanapin nyo muna.
Sir?
Yes, question.
Bakit po siya naging x plus 1? Kung
Okay, I
negative
will
1 po.
explain that. So, burahin ko lang to para hindi nakakalito. Okay. So, di ba, a while ago, when you substituted this, when you substituted p of 1, p of -1, di ba, the answer is 0. If this is a 0, that simply means that there is a factor. This is a factor. And to get this is equal to, ito, x is equal to -1 kasi. And this is what we call, kapag naka-equal to -1, this is what we call the root. Next lesson natin to next week. That's for the factory, for the finding the roots. So for us to get the factor, kailangan nating i-transpose si -1 with x. So it will become a binomial. So pag nag-transpose ka, it will become x plus 1. This is now your factor. Okay? One of the factors. Okay? This will end. Our meeting will end in any moment. So please continue looking for the remaining two. And then, sa next invite natin, invite number 3, we kindly type in chat your answers, the 3 factors. Okay? Do it.